That was Desire from Lights Goes Darken, and the drummer of Lights Goes Darken is Reubes. Good evening, Reubes.
Hi, how you doing, mate?
I'm very good, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Not too bad.
That's good to hear from you. Long time since you've been in the studio.
Yeah, definitely, too long. Can't remember the last time. Probably start of year, I reckon.
Yeah, it's probably getting on for about a year.
Yeah.
So, how was lockdown?
Interesting. I mean, to say the least, really, because at the start of the year, I actually went self-employed as a musician.
Yeah.
Which, as you can imagine, was an interesting career decision with the lockdown looming. But yeah, it's been difficult, a difficult adjustment, and because music is such an important of not only my life but obviously livelihood. To kind of have both sides of that kind of swiped away is very difficult. I had about 70 gigs booked for the year ahead, and most of those have obviously been cancelled or moved to next year.
Yeah.
It's also meant, even in a social sense, I've not been able to meet up with, the guys in Lights Goes Darken, not been able to get stuff ready for gigs with Pure Floyd, and it's just kind of halted everything, which is difficult to kind of adjust to. But
yeah, I mean, most of us have been lucky, like with the radio show. I think I was only off for about 3 weeks, and then we were able to get back into the studio again because there's only one person in the studio.
Yeah,
you could sort of get round it. And at work, after about a month and a half, I think, I was back at work, so you're back with it. But obviously, with what you do, you just couldn't do a thing.
No. I mean, I've tried my best to sort of adjust and find new things to do and kind of use the time to refine some of the other stuff that I don't usually get time to dedicate to and get ready for next year's gigs. But it's obviously not the same. It's a case of finding stuff to do rather than kind of being stuck with a huge workload.
Yeah, obviously I saw you were doing a lot more with Porridge Pot, etc.
Yeah, I mean that is one of the few good things that has come out of it. It's given me time to get my studio, the Porridge Pot, kind of functional again, and to sort of look at the setup and make sure it can kind of fit the needs of sort of full bands as well as just solo artists. And
yeah,
so yeah, that's been a positive thing that's come out of it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have said that they've sort of sorted things out that they wouldn't have done normally.
Yeah.
So it's just giving you that little bit of extra time when you've had no choice but to do that.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for me, as well as the financial side of things, obviously, doing it as sort of job and musician, it's like I say, the social aspect as well. I think people may overlook the fact that musicians, obviously the line of work, unless you're sort of at a gig or in a rehearsal studio or recording studio, you're not actually seeing that many people, strangely enough, for a performer.
No. So you've got your weekends back again.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is a good thing.
Yeah. So you've done nothing with Lights Goes Darken at all then?
Well, there has been some stuff going on behind the scenes.
Right.
We've managed to do a little bit of recording work, which is exciting and sounding good. But yeah, it's difficult, and sort of with everyone sort of spread out, and Dan's in Lowestoft and Lizzie is up in Lincolnshire.
Yeah.
It can be difficult to kind of coordinate things at the best of times, let alone when there's no public transport and
Yeah, that's right. I never thought about that side of it. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's been good, like we've been saying, for doing the stuff that normally we wouldn't want to do.
Yeah, that's right. You've got no choice, really.
Yeah.
This is obviously where I'll let you say the name, because I don't know if people have actually... I've sort of preempted it by putting it on the Rock Show page, but I don't know if people have actually heard the name of your new debut single yet, so I'll let you tell them.
Yeah, so this is probably the best thing to come out of lockdown, and basically for the last few months, because I've not been able to work with anyone else, it's been kind of a period of time where I've been given myself the opportunity to write something of my own. And so, yeah, for the last 2 or 3 months, I've been working on my debut single, which is called Puppeteers. And it's kind of going back to the conversation we were just talking about. It's all about sort of an empathy for fellow musicians who are in this predicament of being a performer, and like I say, it's not just a career, it's a way of life and a kind of
That's right.
a way of being, and essentially having the stage and the audience that you perform to kind of swiped from beneath your feet.
Yeah.
It's quite a daunting thing, and like I say, it's called Puppeteers, and obviously a puppet, it just feels like you've had your strings cut and you're kind of waiting now behind the stage for the next show.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a difficult thing, difficult financially, mental health, lots of different areas. And yeah, I just really feel for a lot of my friends and family even, who do this for a living.
As you say, it is your complete way of life. Your whole family's involved, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's just really a really fractured way of life at the minute, not having, the gigs there, the teaching work, and but it's something that hopefully we'll overcome and things will get easier. But yeah, just a case of
just a waiting game.
Yeah, exactly. It's a waiting game, and just trying to find positive things to do. So when we come back, it'll be sort of all guns blazing.
Good. I put a post out a while ago on the rock show. It just came to me one night, and I thought, these guys are sitting there during lockdown. They've got no income all of a sudden. They're not doing gigs. They're not selling band merch, and it just goes on and on. And I put this post out and said, if everybody could just go on their favourite band's Facebook page, web page, whatever, and just buy a T-shirt, a pin badge, anything really.
Yeah.
If every single one of their fans done that, they would have some sort of small income again, just to keep them going through the pandemic, if you like.
Yeah.
And maybe just be able to afford a pair, some guitar strings at the other end or something like that. It wouldn't take much, and that got quite a. There was a lot of people sort of went on and talking about it, etc., and nobody thought about it. The fact that these bands are just there with no income whatsoever. There was no furlough for them or anything else like normal workers.
And that's the thing. It's crazy. I mean, I'm not very clued up on stuff, and perhaps can't work out certain things, but it does confuse me a little bit when I see certain things open and certain things allowed. Like airline flights and stuff like that. Yet I look towards the theatres that I'm used to spending my Fridays and Saturdays playing, and
all shutting down.
Exactly. So there's lots of stuff I can't quite get my head around in that side of things. But like you say, it's left just so many professionals just out of work, and with not really anything there. I'm kind of fortunate in the sense that I can survive for a certain amount of time without that being in place. But a few years down the line, I'm sure it'd be a different story. So
that's right. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of good things come out of it in a way. You've got like the guys trying to keep the pubs open with the Brickies in Norwich and things like that, bringing out the charity single. I was playing that non-stop for weeks and weeks.
Yeah, that
during
was
the
brilliant.
lockdown. I mean, that sort of thing was brilliant. The fact that people were sitting at home doing these gigs, if you like, that we could all tune in on, just to keep them sane and their, the followers sane as well.
Yeah, that is definitely a good thing. And I mean, that's another thing. I've been lucky enough to sort of collaborate with some different people that I wouldn't usually sort of play with, and it's been in a way a really good networking experience, strangely, because it's kind of forced me to sort of interact a bit more online with some of the different musicians in the country. And I've done a sort of 3 or 4 different tribute or cover sort of collaborations with some guys that I haven't even met before, but really, really nice chaps and really great musicians.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely been a lot of brilliant,
a lot of camaraderie.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. It's the sort of the musical family in the UK is coming together in a difficult time, which is nice.
Brilliant. Right, if anyone wants to get in touch with you, obviously Porridge Pot, your recording studio, whatever, your email is officialreubes@gmail.com. Your website is www.officialreubes.co.uk. Is that it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And if anyone's interested in doing any recording, like Jarvo was saying, the Porridge Pot in Methwold is back open again, COVID friendly.
Yeah.
And if you just search that in Google or Facebook, it will come up. Or just send me an email at officialreubes@gmail.
The only trouble with that is you need a passport to get to Methwold, don't you?
Yeah.
From Suffolk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well. Right, well, if you'd like to introduce it, we're going to play your debut single.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much again, mate, for supporting me with this one.
It's our pleasure.
And this is my debut single, Puppeteers. A shout out to all the musicians around the UK and the world. And keep going strong, guys.
Thanks, Reubes. Take care, mate.
Cheers.